Hello, BIZAA sponsors and supporters, and welcome to the Fireside Chat today. It's nice to be back in this environment. Okay, how are you doing?
Always okay. Good to see you again, Sherry.
It's great to see you. Our focus today is going to be on our children's academics, and we're going to talk about that at every single level. So let's dive right into it, okay?
Sure.
I know that our K-12 schools are on trimesters.
Yes.
And I believe that our students take assessments every single trimester. Not quite sure how this all works.
Yeah, you're right.
Walk us through, how do we know how students are progressing, and when will we know if they're moving forward?
Yeah, I'm only going to be able to do this because it's a system I went through. Back in Nigeria, they have trimesters, which means that there are 3 terms, and assessments are taken at the end of each term, within each term and at the end. So they have the first trimester running from September, when the school year starts, through December. And then they have another trimester beginning from January after the Christmas holiday, because they run kind of Christian calendar in the schools. And then the second trimester begins from January and runs through March or beginning of April, depending where Easter is, because they take another Easter break. And then they come back from Easter break within April for sure, and then it runs through July. And then they take the summer long break that takes them to September for the resumption of the new school year. But it's important to know that they take assessments as they go along. And when after the first trimester and the second trimester, between the teachers and the BIZAA counselor, they're able to determine whether or project whether a child will transition to a new level or not. And holding a child back is kind of a regular thing that happens even in the Nigerian system of education, but more so with BIZAA children because of where they're coming from. And it's not a stigma or anything, it's normal. The whole community wants this child to do better. And if what it will take for the child to do better is just to be delayed by 1 year, they're okay with that.
Right.
And so that's how they run it.
So they still are looking at a percentage, right, of how much they're learning academically. I'm going to stay with that part of it first.
Yep.
And if I remember, it's kind of like at this point, it's like a 70%.
70%, yeah. It's a cumulative assessment, and 70% is the pass.
Is to pass over.
Yeah,
so even though they've got another trimester to go, they can kind of make some predictions at this point.
Yes.
And I do appreciate that you shared the point that it's very different in Nigeria about students staying back, because I just know that I have a child that one of my girls was sponsored. She dropped out of school to take care of her father after her mother passed away. And when I sponsored her, she went back, and obviously she had to go back where she left off. And my first inclination as an educator, I was thinking, oh my gosh, she's gonna have all these kids that are gonna be so much younger than her, and how is that gonna show up for her? But it wasn't an issue for her at all.
It wasn't.
It talks right to what you just talked about.
Exactly.
The community.
The community, yeah. Everybody knows everybody. They know what you're struggling with, and everybody wants everybody to succeed.
Right. The culture is just very, very different there.
Yeah,
So,
Ubuntu philosophy.
Yeah. So let's shift a little bit to high school. How many potential graduates do we have this year in high school?
So in high school, we have 18 graduates this year who will be graduating by the end of the school year, moving into the vocational.
Okay, potentially moving.
Potentially moving. Yeah.
How many do we project are going to move into?
Those 18, all of them will move.
All of them want to move
So yeah, our BIZAA team back there have been able to project in collaboration with the school that these 18 have passed the cumulative assessment as of the second trimester, which is what determines whether they will be transitioning at the end of the third trimester.
Okay, so it's wonderful to see so many kids going into higher level education.
Yes.
Is that financially feasible for us as an organization to have kids, all 18 of our kids moving into higher level?
So there are 2 things. Number one, like I mentioned, if your child is affected as one of the kids who will be held back, don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad for the child. In fact, it's a good thing, considering where these children are coming from. To your second question about the financial implications for sponsors, it is very optional for a sponsor who cannot afford the higher payment and that is required in vocational school to pick another child from primary or secondary to replace that child, because we have annual fundraisers as an organization that we can use to subsidize their education in our vocational school because we own the school. Otherwise, primary and secondary, we send them to different schools. So if the payment for vocational school is a little high, a sponsor is encouraged to pick a child in primary school, a new child, or secondary, to replace the child, and knowing too well that your child in vocational will be taken care of through our fundraising that we run our operations in vocational with. If you feel that you can also handle that vocational level, you are also being very generous and supportive to the organization. It adds to our budget for the running of the vocational school. So keep sponsoring if you can. If you can't, pick a child from the lower levels. Yeah.
It's wonderful. It's a win-win. All 18 are going to move on, which is a success story. Yay for our kids. So another wondering that I'm thinking of is, how many kids do we currently have in vocational school and universities, and do we have any graduates at that level?
Yep. So currently we have 26 children in our vocational school.
Oh, wow.
A very wonderful story is that for the very first time, BIZAA will be graduating 4 of our children from the university.
Oh,
4 girls who have been at the university level studying medical lab science have finished, as we speak, their final exams and all the required exams to graduate as medical lab science. The wonderful thing is that one of them is not only graduating, got married, and is pregnant.
Oh, wow.
All in one. So I feel like a grandpa.
Oh, yeah. That's
Very
awesome.
soon. But that's how wonderful it has been. A lot of success stories come with these vocational graduates, but I don't know whether we have enough time to share that. But
well, we don't have vocational graduates this year. Did we have vocational graduates last year?
oh, we have vocational graduates last year, and all of them are all employed.
Okay.
We have one of our vocational graduates who is a graphic designer for a company.
Oh, wow.
We have another one who is an office manager because they have basic IT skills. Of course, we have a vocational graduate who got employment second year in our vocational school, got employed by a Nigerian company that's based in Dubai, and they took him to Dubai, gave him 1 year of training, brought him back to Lagos to lead a team at that level, and he is right now, Solomon is his name. He was sponsored by the Cremins. Carl Cremin's brother, Jim Cremins, and his wife sponsored Solomon. And Solomon is now gotten all kinds of training from Dubai and is in Lagos, the old capital of Lagos, doing very well. So we have 100% employment from our previous graduates, one with an exceptional story, 4 graduating from university this year, all of them very employable because the healthcare industry is in Nigeria. They are highly sought after. One of them is not only graduating, got married, pregnant with a kid.
Oh,
what more can you ask for?
I don't know. It's like a drop the mic moment, if you ask me.
That's right.
It is just like,
That's right.
who would have thought back in 2013 that we would be sitting in these chairs talking about the success of our students moving all the way.
Wonderful. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you for giving us the update. We're excited about that. When would sponsors get information about their own kids?
So sponsors will get information before the end of this month. Progress report, we call it progress report on how the kids are doing.
Okay.
And then, of course, we will communicate with them further as to how we're going to be moving on with the new year and conversation about sponsorship. We have 70-something children on our waiting list right now, and we really, really want all of them to go into school, especially the primary and secondary level. So if you want to take on one more child, if you know anybody in the family, at workplace, a friend, somebody who lives in your neighborhood, who can help move these children from the street to the classroom, it's a very rewarding step to take. Don't even think twice about it. But thank you so much for those who are already sponsoring.
Thank you.